very, very hungry artist. And what I do, I bleed, and I write, and I feel, and I express myself, and we're going to be playing a game later on in the evening. I think masturbation is one of the words that are written on pieces of paper here. We all have to admit things that we wouldn't normally admit. We can also lie. Are there any Scorpios in the room? We can lie. So, it's not really a game, but it's more an exercise of the fact that we are over here tonight, a bunch of women, single, married, with children, with art, with a man, with art, with sex, with art. And I'm not trying to address the sex issue per se, but I'm trying to address sex just as it is, as it is not as well. So tonight I'm actually feeling like a humanitarian, guys. I really think, to change the world, we need to change our thoughts. And the only way to change our thoughts, we need to be affected by what is said and what is going on, what people are doing. And we're doing a lot behind closed doors, underneath silk sheets and all sorts of things on the kitchen table. And I think that's the most raw and the most honest that we are, and sometimes we even lie to ourselves even when that is happening. So, just with your help, I'd really appreciate it if we were to take sex a little less or a little more seriously, depending where you are on the scale, and I'd like us to talk about it. And I kept on saying all the time that I didn't want sex and AIDS to be what is always on the billboard, I think there's a lot of history to be shared, there's lots of knowledge to be discussed, and there's lots of information and philosophy and beauty and history and art, And I actually came across some interesting statistics, right now, it's 2009, right? And there was a time when we had primitive times, and I'm sure when we were living in those primitive times, we thought we were ever so civilized. So let's compare, okay? Let's start with America. We're talking primitive cultures, and I've actually got some primitive and indigenous American cultures here, which I looked up, and there's a tribe called the Caddo tribe. They have matrilineal clans. Now, what is that? Let me tell you what that is. The men, they decorate themselves and they have ever so elaborate hairdos, and the women, they paint their faces, they have tattoos. There's never, ever any formal wedding ceremony, right? What happens is this: if a man desires a woman, what he'll do, he will go out and try and find the best gift which he can, and he'll give it to her. And if she accepts the gift, that actually means she's accepting sex from the man. And sex with the man is marriage, right? And this woman, sometimes the marriage will last a day or two, she accepts many gifts, and she's allowed to. There are never any repercussions, alright? This is the Caddo tribe in America. And then you've got the Cherokee tribe, right? The Cherokee tribe, they worship the sun god. And the sun god is a female. And in their way, how it's done, the children are only related to the woman. The men, they've got no lineage, right? What happens is the blood relatives of the children always fall and can be traced back to the mother, right? There's a lot of sexual freedom that goes on in this marriage. And if it fails, you go home and you go back to your own mommy. You don't stay with my mommy. The man goes to his mommy, the woman goes to her mommy, okay? And I'm not finished with America, because there's also another tribe in America called the Chickasaw tribe, right? And they've got the same female lineage where the children are only related to the woman. And what happens here is that if you're a man and you desire one of these women that's, in this Chickasaw situation, you have to buy her sister and her mother gifts. And it's only then, if the sister and the mother approves of you, then you move in to the house. You live with all these women. And you as a man are allowed to have sex with any one of them. Seriously, this is documented by www. So you're in that situation, you managed to nail the one chick who agreed to have her sisters and her parents move in. You're shagging everybody in the house, and then somebody dies. Somebody dies. And if it's not you that died, because if it's you that died as a husband, what will happen is whoever you married to has to live without sex for 4 years. But if in that house they're like maybe sisters, 4 sisters, and some of them are married to other men and everybody's having sex with everybody, and one of the men dies, you take her on completely fully as one of your wives, This is what happens in American primitive culture. I don't know what the difference is like with now. I'm not even going to try and compare because all of us are living right here in the now. I'm just going to just add a few more little interesting tidbits which I found on the www. Okay. In Africa, something terrible is going on in Africa still today is the female circumcision. In Nigeria still, men only want to marry these virgins, like the status of marriage is only connected to the virginity that you're marrying. And as a result, on the wedding day, there's these tests, physical tests, which are performed on these women, I know other cultures as well here in close to South Africa, but we would have some great aunt fiddling with you, testing your virginity, breaking your virginity, I think, I totally don't approve of this. I'm not going to be objective about it, And in Tanzania, guys, there's a Turu tribe over there, and women are objectified. They're treated like a business transaction, and there is still so much physical abuse and assault that's going on over there, And then there's Asia. I'll end with Asia. Asia is naughty, guys. They make those toys for kids, but I'm sure there's some X-rated toys that they make because this is what they get up to, man. In Tibet, there's a Treba tribe over there, and they have something that they call the Polydrons Society, where what happens is, if you're a bunch of brothers and there are 5 of you, you will all get to marry one woman. All of you will marry her. This woman will be busy, guys. She'll be sorting all of you out, one by one every night. And even in India as well, there's a system they call the go-tool system, where children above the age of 6 years old, they're told to have sex with each other, And what's worse than that is that if they have sex with the same person for 3 days in a row, they get into trouble. I don't know what word to use here. But it's called the go-tool on the www. So I found it. Okay, I'm not making any of this up, right? And as usual, I'm not trying to be a feminist because, by the way, in case none of you know, feminism is dead. Okay, all the feminists are horny, right? They're all trying to get laid. Okay, so any feminists out there, they're lying, especially if they're getting some. Because it's about being deprived, I think, if you're a feminist, You're supposed to be angry about something or But anyway, this is just the beginning of some facts and some things that I want to share, some things I want to hear from you about what's going on sexually worldwide. Worldwide, how wise are we? And also, I think some of you guys know, I happen to write a little bit of poetry sometimes, now and again, sometimes. And I spent the year keeping very quiet contemplating my clitoris and my navel. And I came to some circling sort of like conclusions. I realized what I'd concluded before, and what I was going to conclude I'd concluded before. And it's how much we listen to ourselves and how much we get inside of ourselves, because yes, this is a sex talk that we're having, but for me, that's just a marketing name to get people all excited and wet or hard about the subject, But really, I'm really trying to go deeper than that. I really want all of us, when we're sitting around and we're giggling and laughing and drinking, I want us all to just, just give each other some wisdom, as sisters, and say, okay, this is what we know. I got torn, or whatever happened during childbirth, or things that you guys need to share with me. Please tell me, because I'm not going to do some of these things, and I'm going to do more than some of these things. I came to some understanding at that point over some things in life, and I'd like just to share something which I learned this year. It's called the unending end. What do I know? What can I claim? I don't have a receipt for my life. I'm not sure I own myself. What is this? Who am I? These hands are mine. These legs are mine. This body, yes, is mine. But where is me? Show me me. Don't show me mine. I look in the mirror, I see my face, my eyes, my reflection, mine. But me, I don't see me. Therefore, I cannot be this body, you see. It belongs to me, yes. It belongs to the self which I am, without these clothes, without this sex, without this race. No, I am not my mind either, because I've changed it so many times. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my intelligence. I do not belong to this country. I do not belong to my ancestors. I can only be claimed by the seed that produced all seeds. The eternal seed, whose womb houses all seeds. Not this body, not the man-made, not the woman brought. I give thanks to this life indeed, but once this vehicle is gone, the soul, my soul, will continue, only to be housed in another body. I'm searching for my eternal body, the one I cannot escape. I exist because of the evolution of the unending body, the unending end. All these things, all these karmic consequences, all these temporary versions of life, all these problems, all these lies, all this pain, even all this happiness, all this ends. All these ends begin again.